Hello to the people of Earth. Today we'll be covering the latest news stories from our peaceful world. Wars are a thing of the past. Nuclear disarmament 100% happened. And now, here are our top stories from a peaceful world. Our first story is simple. Do golden retrievers and dogs in general really care about bedtime? Well, it seems that one of our people really does think so. The funny way of kicking out house guests is best. The writer of this story says that they don't entertain much, but when they do, they make it an early night, having friends over. Simply put, dog doesn't like to have house guests over. As I am. Uh, as I am. I have no idea what I'm doing. A heck of a delay if that's the case. Eesh. Uh, Same way on. I have no idea what I'm doing. A heck of a delay if that's the case. Eesh. I don't know. Anyways, they don't entertain much, but they always have. Ooh, crap. It is a cute little video, though. That is a dog that is very happy, I can tell. Uh, yep, definitely a dog person. Yep, definitely a dog person. Anyways, as you can tell, I'm not very good at it. So, on to the next story. I'm lucky to be alive after sustaining car crash injuries after toppling over my cat. Yeah, cats. They're the real villains of the world. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. He suffered catastrophic injuries. A UK man miraculously survived after sustaining a broken neck, fractured spine, smashed ribs, blood in his lungs, and other car crash invoking injuries from, wait for it, tripping over his cat. He tripped over his cat. Okay. The freak apocalypse meow accident reportedly occurred on the evening of October 23rd, which is a while ago, while the Lancaster, I think, I don't know, I'm not British, Drake's professional musician, he should have been more coordinated than that, was home alone with his hairless Egyptian Sphinx kitten. Okay, Eric. Okay, you got to make easier to pronounce names than this. The disaster struck after the whiskery. I don't know. The man's barely survived. Look at this. This is the face of pure evil. How did they worship this for that long? I don't know. Look at it. Let it burn into your memory. Let it be in the back of your mind. It wasn't until the next morning that that immovable vocalist. Oh, so he's a musician and she's a vocalist. Okay, a nice way of saying singer. Anyways, he spent all night at the bottom of the stairs. He didn't catch a cold. Ooh, that. This man's never going to live this down for the rest of his life. He's always going to be known as the cat's meow. Oh, man. She had to leave the room because she couldn't stand her partner's pain. Yeah. That's not good. Not good at all. Guys? Wait. Oh, it's wearing a little sweater thingy. It doesn't even look cute. At least most cats, you could say it looks cute. Ever. Word from the wise. Dogs are bad. All right, on to the next story. The last cent sold at auction, 16.7 million, worth a pretty penny. As you can tell, this wasn't for the normies like you, me, and everyone else. This pretty much is for the hardcore collectors and the people who just want bragging rights. Then again, I wonder if this was a charity auction. Really, they could have given me at least $1 million. That would have been some nice charity. Definitely would have boosted my. Those who argue that the U.S. penny had no value, some coin collectors beg to differ. The fact that the doled out millions of final pennies circulated the U.S. before the government ended the production back in November. The U.S. minted 232 3-cent sets of a whopping sum of 16.7 million at an auction last Thursday, hosted by that whatever. Who cares? This is rich people. Rich people gonna rich people. This person said that they've been going to coin auctions for 40 years, and I can tell you I've never seen anything like this because there's never been anything like this. Well, good for collectors that have that much money to spend on a penny. Maybe they'll make their money back. Probably going to be on some dusty shelf for the next 1+ years. Maybe someday it'll go to a museum. What the huh? The nearest nickel, short-sighted decisions from the Treasury. I agree. You know, I literally went to a restaurant the other day. I was supposed to get, I think, 83 cents back. They only gave me 80 cents back. And I literally looked at them like, where's my 3 pennies? And she just looked at me like, you don't have any. And I'm like, huh? So this is basically, in my opinion, this is pressure to make you pay with a debit card, because I would have got my 3 cents if I just would have paid debit. But I lost 3 cents. Now, most people wouldn't cry about 3 cents, but I really wanted my 3 cents. You know, 3 cents here, 3 cents there, it makes a difference. So, yeah. On to debit we go, people. Cash will be a thing of the past 10 years from now, I feel like. Today it's the penny, tomorrow it's the nickel. Who knows? 3 weeks from now, it might be the quarter. I like my quarters, though. This is what the people think about it. Tell you, man. The world. Okay, on to the next story. Now, you know, most people had that primal fear about getting stuck in quicksand. Well, it seems a hiker got stuck in quicksand in the Utah's Arches National Park. But they were rescued because it takes a while to sink into quicksand. Well, they were rescued, but will you be rescued? Now, I never kept an eye out for quicksand before, but after seeing this story, I'm 100% going to look for quicksand. Going to look for quicksand here, going to look for quicksand there, because I might not get rescued. Yep. Let's see how it went. Getting trapped in quicksand is a poor pair of old movies and TV shows, but recently it did happen to an unfortunate hiker. It seems that out of 1 million visitors a year, only one visitor got stuck in quicksand. Congratulations. That hiker can say they are 1 in a million. 100%. It seems that it has happened at least a couple of times now. The wet sand just kind of flows back in. It's kind of never-ending battle, said John Marshall, who helped the woman stuck in quicksand over a decade ago. Oh, I was fixing to say, did this happen a decade ago? No. Happened a decade ago in the latest rescue, which means this only happens once every 10 years. Ladies and gentlemen, people out there, we know it happens once every 10 years. How many people could have been stuck in quicksand, but they've never been found? Just saying. Tar pits are a wonderful place for for finding old animal remains. How many tar pits are in America? How many quicksand pits are in America? How many are worldwide? Once every 10 years? I don't know. You be the judge. I, for one, am going to keep a lookout for quicksand. Are you? Seems that the hiker's identity wasn't released. Was traversing the small canyon on the second day, a 20-mile, 30-kilometer backpacking trip. He sank up to his thighs, according to Marshall. Up to his thighs. Just deep enough where you can't get out, but you gonna think you can get out. That's a bad look right there. Unable to free himself, the hiker the hiker activated an emergency satellite beacon. His message got forward to Grand Canyon emergency responders, and Marshall got the call at 7:15 a.m. Now, what would have happened if he would not have had an emergency beacon? This right here is the perfect example. If you're going somewhere where there probably isn't cell phone service, have an emergency beacon. They're not that expensive. In fact, I have one for under $100. Now, most camping equipment is more than $100, especially if you're going on a day trip or more. So, personally, it's worth your life. Most of the time, you can get GPS actually in a radio that has an emergency beacon installed in it. That's what I have. So if you don't have that and you spend more than 12 hours outside the home in remote areas, that might be something to invest in. Just saying. I was rolling out of bed, Marshall said, and I'm scratching my head going, did I hear that right? Did they say quicksand? Yes, they did, Marshall. And guess what? I'm glad this got recorded because now we know quicksand is out there. And we know we need to be vigilant against quicksand 100% of the time. 100% of the time. All right, on to the next. It seems that a Maryland man, they making the headlines again, collects his second big lottery prize in 8 years. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't have that kind of luck. Now, it doesn't look like it's a large lottery prize. It's only 50,000. But 50,000 every 8 years seems like a winning bet to me. I want that. You know, it ain't, I'm going to take it easy forever, but it's a nice little sweet little bit of money for whenever you need it, you know? New car, pay off all that debt. You know, take it easy for a month or two. Maybe go on a nice trip. It seems that the Maryland man who won $250,000 prize scratch off lottery ticket returned to the lottery headquarters 8 years later to collect a $50,000 Powerball prize. Now, $250,000. Oh, yeah, I could have used that money. $50,000. Ooh, yeah, that is the spot. Now, Prince George County man who nicknamed himself the $50,000 man told the Maryland lottery officials he bought his Powerball ticket on October 18th from Exxon on this side, on this road right here. He visited the Baltimore lottery headquarters on Friday to collect his $50,000 prize. Yeah, that right there is luck. The winner said his previous prize went towards a new car, boosting his savings. He said he does not yet have plans for the latest windfall. Tell you what, 50K, nice little windfall there. I'd save it. These are uncertain times, my friend. Uncertain times. And guess what? With luck like that, you might be able to count on another 50,000 in another 8 years. Who knows? You might get 250,000. My man's got the luck that I want. And I want more luck like that. But you know what? If you want to be lucky, you got to surround yourself by lucky people. And if you can't surround yourself by lucky people, have a good attitude. Because then luck might find you if you got a good attitude. People only want to be around other people with good attitudes. It's the same thing with luck. It's the same thing with happiness. Even if everything's falling down around you, as long as you feel happy, you will be happy. Anyways, on to the next story. This story is a little bit late, but it seems that the Susk Mounties are sharing the funniest 911 calls from 2025. Now, like I said, it's a little bit late into the year to be covering stuff like this, but I kind of thought that maybe an all points bulletin should be put across that maybe you shouldn't abuse the system as much as these people have. Now, have you ever run out of toilet paper? I know I have. Everybody has. You know, sometimes you just take a shower or whatever you got to do, but you don't call 911. 911 is for emergency. All right. Now, what else do these people do? See. It seems that somebody else called 911 for the loudest snoring was the subject of a 911 call in 2025. That when the caller complained that his family member was loud snoring was keeping them up. Now, I hope this was a child. I really do. I hope it was a child under the age of 10. Because I could forgive that. But I can't forgive anyone over the age of 10 calling 911 for that. 911 is for emergency. Another call involves a person who was upset because they had had to drive their expensive vehicle through a construction zone. Now, personally, I don't like driving really nice vehicles, mainly because if it gets scratched, I'm gonna cry. I'm the most stoic person people know, but if you scratch my ride, I'm gonna cry. There's just no getting away or getting around it. Now, if you got a nice vehicle, bless your heart. Really, bless your heart. It's tough out there. But we all know there's construction zones and the roads have to be maintained. So if you really care about your vehicle, you can drive around construction zones. Now, it's the pretty tax as far as I'm concerned, but drive a beater if you don't want it. You know, it seems that one person reported a shopping cart left in front of their driveway. Now, there is a non emergency line for the police, and let's just say you're in a residential neighborhood and there is a stolen property around the neighborhood, you can call the non emergency line. So I really equate this as not knowing the proper channels they should have used, because you should report stolen property whenever you can. It's just the right thing to do. Now, most people don't care about a shopping cart, but it is stolen property, and everybody likes to use shopping carts whenever they're at the store. So, yeah. But there is a non emergency line for if you want to report stolen merchandise or other people's property. It seems that one person also wanted the number to a taxi service. So, again, there's non emergency lines, but this really isn't even something for the non emergency line. There are services state by state that give you information about different roadways and stuff like that. I think it's 411 for a lot of states, but I'm not sure. But there's Google Maps. You can literally type in anything in Google and get the information. Oh man, I don't know. Another food related 911 call turned out to be from a person who was upset that a friend had cooked their pork chop without permission. Okay. Um, I don't know anymore. I can't defend this. I won't. Anyways, technology can occasionally result in an accidental 911 call, which the RMC said last year when the call informed the dispatcher that the TV show they were watching inevitably triggered their phone to place the call. Now, this is an example of how certain technology has put itself in our life to a point where it's hurting us more than helping us. I don't know what possibly could trigger this kind of reaction from your phone, but you probably need to turn it off. I really hope, I really hope more things like this doesn't happen in the future, but I know that inevitably more stuff like this is going to happen because AI technology and everything else out there. Now, I don't know. You don't know. None of us know. But we can all hope that the future is going to be bright. The final entry on the list involves a caller who had lost their phone and wanted the officer to call it so they could locate it one has to wonder how they placed the call in the first place. Well, I would hope that the call was placed via a friend's phone, but if they had a friend's phone, then why didn't the friend call the phone instead of them calling 911 to get the police to call their phone so that they could locate their phone? You know, I used not to think that there was just 30 to 40% of people out in the general public that were just NPCs. I still don't believe it can't possibly be that high. But I do believe there's at least a 5% chance of running into an NPC every day. Now, if you have ever done something like this, that's 100% NPC behavior. So get better, please. And just remember, if you can't get better, then advertise it. You know, make sure that people like me know that you a little bit special. You know, advertise it. That's just me though. I don't know. I don't know. I hope this was a prank call. I really hope this was a prank call. Please let it be a prank call. Okay. This story, 1 year since the registration of traditional knowledge and skills of the sake making and the koji mold in Japan as in whatever the heck that is, UNESCO, cultural heritage, which is basically wine news. Did you know there was such a thing as wine news and wine business? Now, I knew the industry was pretty big, but supposedly this is a big thing. I don't know. On December 6, 2025, 1 year has passed since the traditional Japanese sake making using koji mode was inscribed into the UNESCO cultural heritage in December 5, 2024. This registration does not target koji itself or any single production technique. Rather, it comprehensively recognizes the knowledge, techniques, and customs through which people, in, including koji master brewers and the koji brewing workers, have brewed alcohol using mold, as well as the cultural practices through which these have been passed down through traditional Japanese sake making. Now, most people hear sake and they don't think wine, but it is 100% wine. Yeah, figure. I didn't know I was a wino. Turns out I am. You know, sake holds a special place in my heart because of something in my past, which I might get to, but I might not. I probably not. I'm not that open. But this is good that wine is kind of opening up a little bit to other things other than French. Of course, I don't know. I'm not into wine. I'm not educated enough. But it seems that 1 year has passed since they has recognized the mold that makes sake. Yeah. There is 97,000 species of mold said to exist worldwide. Yeah. 97,000. Heck, 97. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. It seems that the Japanese sake production yellow koji mold is cultivated on steamed rice to produce rice malts simply called koji. Maybe I'm pronouncing that right. I don't know. Is used raw materials such as rice brewery selected according to characteristics of each alcoholic beverage and the brewing environment. Basically, they got to get really technical to make sure that they make sure that everything is on the up and up. Nobody wants to be hurt by their alcohol. Depending on the species, the strain of koji mold, difference in the type of qualities, enzymes it produces, as well as the way that it produces organic acid. Each brewery selects the most suitable koji mold according to its desired sake profile, which is really fancy for its taste and smell. Regional climate, raw materials carries out its own distinctive sake making, which is good because I like a lot of different taste in my brewed beverages. Expanding koji culture was exported a record 80 countries and regions and reached an export value of 43.5 billion yen, or 3.4 million 9-liter cases. In January, from January to October 2025, exports continue to grow steadily by 8% year on year. You know what? I'm of the mindset that I would rather drink sake than wine. Now, this might be a controversial view, but that's the way I feel. If you don't like it, oh well. Eh. Wine's on the way down, sake's on the way up. Weebs of the world unite. Let's see. Meanwhile, in Western Europe, where sake is increasingly gaining acceptance as part of everyday culture, which examples of 20% of the 31 Michelin 3-star restaurants in France currently offer sake. Now, only sake itself, but also dishes using koji, are attracting attention, which the context of fine dining. Now, when even the French are starting to like sake a little bit more than wine, goes to tell you that maybe, just maybe, that's where it's at. Now, if the French try to steal sake and try to say, "Oh, we own it," just like they do with the wine, oh no, oh no, that ain't gonna happen, man. That is not gonna happen. No. You know how the French, they always like, oh, chocolat blah, it's mine. French are gonna French, man. Anyways, all this right here is all good and everything, but it's news, so yeah. I prefer sake over wine. What do you think? Okay, on to the next story. This is the last story of the day. I'm a doll mom of 20 plus ceramic, but I'm pulling 200K a year in my fake babies. What the heck? This is the perfect example of what the heck is coming to this world. She's a doll mom of 20 ceramic dolls. And it is weird, but at the same time, she's making 200K a year. Now, I'll be honest with you. If I had a woman and she was making 200K a year at home with ceramic dolls, I would be a wonderful wife to that woman. She would have dinner on the table every night. That's the kind of can-do spirit that you want in the world. Like any good mother, she rises each morning, heads to the nursery, and greet her baby girl, Pippa. Ooh, she's into rabbits, huh? Before waking up the tots, older siblings, in preparation for yet another busy day. Busy day of what? What is she doing? What is the going on here? The difference between Passoff and other moms, however, is that Pippa, along with her brothers and sisters, isn't real. They're dolls. This is peak Western culture right here. This is how Western culture dies. They're called reborn dolls. Cast of 40, something a married mother of 5 adult kids and 20 little playthings. They should have worded that different. I don't like the way that felt kind of weird coming out of my mouth. I don't know though. Exclusively tells the Post they had hand sculpted, painted, and very talented artists worldwide. I've collected them since 2020. Now, you know what? People want to judge her, honestly, but 100%, we already know she's making bank off these dolls. She's got 20 of them. She makes $200K a year off of them somehow. I'm probably going to get to that, but I don't know how. And not only that, she has 5 adult kids. She don't give a crap what you think about her. Her bloodline is secured. Even if 3 of the 5 kids are duds, she is 100% going to a nice nursing home. A nice one on the beach. So you can call her whatever you want. That's something to look up to in my mind. Got 5 adult kids. I don't know nothing about them, but I'm going to say at least 2 of them are somewhat successful. So she going to go to a nice nursing home on the beach. And she making $200K a year. And you know what? It don't say nothing about her man, but I guarantee you her man is satisfied. The crazy ones, their man's either satisfied or they going insane. Probably both with her. Her collection of lifelike, mistakenly human babies, they're each made of premium silicone and range in a cost of $2,000 to $10,000 depending on the artist. Oh my God. $2,000 to $10,000. Ooh, that's a lot of upfront costs. That's a lot of upfront costs. Depending on the artist, you need specifications, but to case off, however the heck you pronounce her name, the self-crowded doll mom of St. Louis, her flax babies are invaluable. You know what? I can respect that. Most people collect all kinds of things. Some people are into collecting Star Wars stuff. Some people are into collecting Star Trek stuff. Some people are into collecting dolls. Some people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for their collection. Just because I don't see value in her stuff does not mean other people don't see value in it and don't mean it ain't valuable. I don't know why she's getting hate. Not at all. And while millions of cyberbullies across the internet are busy laughing at the brunette, yeah, this okay. Like, whoever wrote this article is into her a little bit. I'm thinking because, like, dang, deeming her to make believe lifestyle, said the scary and creepy AF are laughing their way to the bank. In the past 365 days, I've earned over $200,000 on YouTube. She bragged. You know what? I know this is 100% true because if you a little bit cray, people tune in. I know for a fact people tune in. So, yeah, I'm probably going to check out her YouTube channel. I'm probably going to leave a few likes. And you know what? I might go buy a doll. Yeah. Her viral series, which includes morning routines, schoolhouse role play, shopping tips to Walmart, bath times, sick days, holiday celebrations with the dolls, amuses over 30,000 subscribers, and becomes monetized in just 2 weeks after debuting last spring. Now, if you don't see the hustle here and 100% respect it, I don't know who you are. I 100% am like, You go, girl. You go, lady. You go whatever you want to be called. This is awesome. Seems that she's a landlord and child's fashion designer. First launched her YouTube channel uh, with cheekily titled The Dolls Aren't Real, March 2024. At the time of filming and editing, long form clips of her collection can take over 5 hours to complete, was nothing more than fun outlet for kids at heart who played with baby dolls from infancy through early adolescence. Oh man. Well, these were the stories of the day. Like them, hate them, I don't know. That's what they are. I wish everybody in the world a happy day. I really do. See you next time.